Hey guys, so you're probably watching this video right now because you're starting to learn the importance of copywriting, or maybe you've already learned a few tips here and there and you just want to learn a little bit more about copywriting because you want to create, whether that may be, a higher converting Facebook ad, Instagram ad, a sales letter, maybe on your website. You want, when visitors land on your website, you want to get them to convert more. So in this video, I'm not going to be able to teach everything I learned about copywriting. I am going to recommend a book at the end that's really changed everything for me when it comes to the simplicity. I know when it comes to learning anything new, you watch all these videos, you watch all this content, and that's where people stop. They take in all this information and they don't do anything. So at the end of this video, I'm gonna recommend a book that's about 100 and a little bit over 100 pages, so you could easily read it in a couple of hours and you could start practicing from there. So what I want to do is give 3 main tips, or tips and strategies I've learned about copywriting, and I'm gonna recommend my book at the end of this video. And it's a very cheap and inexpensive book that's really gonna get you started, because like I said, I can't explain everything in this video. So one of the first tip that I want to talk about in copywriting is creating a very eye-catching headline or title. So for example, the reason you clicked on this video is probably because the title of this video benefited you, meaning you read the title of it and you thought that's something that's worth my attention, or at least worth my time to click on it for a couple of seconds and give it a shot. So when it comes to creating a high converting title, and what I mean by high converting is how many people that read it are actually going to stop and at least give it 5 or 10 seconds more of their time before they walk away. So there's many ways to create a high converting or a eye-catching headline, and there's things like how-to headlines or question headlines. So maybe you've read headlines on magazines like is Obama white, or something like that, where it gets your attention and you start you just look at it for a couple seconds. You're like, what does that mean? So that's one of the main tips I want to talk about, just the headline, very important. Another thing that I want to talk about, number 2 tip, is the way that you structure your words. So most people, just like me, when you're in school, you write essays. A lot of times you write in big, chunky, very long sentences, structured paragraphs when you're writing your copy. And what I learned is, in today's age, people, for one, don't even like to read as much, especially when they're outside of their work or they're outside of school. So a good tip is, when you're writing your copy, add bullet points, add quick 2-3 little sentences that are paragraphs, and it makes it easier for you to read, or easier for your customer to read, which in turn, the more they read, the more of a chance that you get to sell them whatever product or service. So that's another big thing. Let's say you write an amazing headline, they look at it for 4 or 5 seconds, but they see long, big paragraphs. They're probably just going to be like, it's not really worth my time to read that. So that's one thing. You can't have one without the other. So remember, when you're writing, create space, create smaller paragraphs, create bullet points, add some pictures in it. Just make it fun and entertaining. In today's age, entertainment is the most important thing in any advertisement and any sales copy. I've seen sales copy where the headline doesn't even relate to what they're selling, but it's to get their attention, get them to start reading the copy. And then of course, as you start reading the copy, they find a way to take that crazy idea and connect it to their product or service at the end of it to sell it. So remember, not to make big and thick and chunky paragraphs. And the third tip I want to include is honestly just practicing and seeing other examples. So for instance, a good tip that I would say to do is go on Facebook or go on Instagram and keep scrolling until you see sponsored at the corner, top left corner, and those are advertisements. Look at the advertisements, look at the comments, and see, and you could easily tell the advertisements that are successful because they have like 800,000 views, or they have 5,000 comments and people sharing. Look at those advertisements, save them on your computer, on your phone, take a quick snapshot of them, and really study them. What was their headline? How long was their video? What did they do to get their attention? Did they drive in a Lamborghini? Did they pretend to fall down? What was the process that they did? And I promise you, when you start seeing it over and over and over again, you start seeing the similarities these people have in their advertisements. There's a reason people like Ty Lopez, within a couple years, got extremely famous because of the way he runs his ads. In the beginning, He gets your attention. He creates curiosity to keep you engaged, and then at the end, he leads you to a product or a service to check out. And there's all the same. It might be a different product or different service, but at the end of the day, it's all the same when it comes to the structure. You got to get their attention, create enough curiosity and desire to then take action, and that's literally copywriting summed up. So those are my 3 tips I wanted to give to you. And at the end of the day, I would say before you start investing a lot of money in courses or a lot of money in any other things like that, I would say the first thing to get started with is reading this book right here. So this book right here is a very thin book. As you can see, it's like 120 pages. I would say grab that book. There's going to be a link below. Grab this book and give it, a couple of reads. Skim through it one time. What I love about the book is it breaks down sales copy into sections. It talks about headlines and what specific headlines that are already converted high in the past. It talks about different ways to structure your paragraphs. It talks about what to say and how to word it. Because at the end of the day, I can tell you the ideas on copywriting, but I know it's easy when you have a blueprint of, okay, this is maybe how this guy sold this product, so let me get an idea. And this book really just breaks it down for you and just makes it a lot easier. So I would highly recommend getting this book. Of course, there's other books, other programs that are valuable out there. But I would say start with this book. It's very cheap. I think it's under 20 bucks, probably like $12, $15. Read through it and practice. And like I said, go through other people's advertisements on Facebook and Instagram, save them, and look at them every day. And I bet you after like 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to start getting a lot better faster, just because now you have a blueprint, a structure on how to write copy. And now you see examples in your brain. You're going to start clicking, oh, that's how they were able to sell, 3,000 copies on their program, or that's how they were able to sell their dropship product or whatever product or service they're trying to sell. So there's going to be a link below for this book. Grab this book. Like I said, read through it a couple times, and comment down below if you learned anything new in this video. And if you like this video, leave a like, and I'll create more content just like this. Bye, guys, and remember, take action. Knowledge is for dummies. Action is where the money is at.